Let me ask you a question and be honest with yourself. Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, if money were an Olympic sport, I'd definitely be watching, not competing? Don't worry, you're not alone. Most people are out here playing hide and seek with their money, and money is winning every time. But today, something's going to shift. Because I'm about to share 3 exact words that can summon $500 million into your life. Yes, you heard that right, $500 million. Not through luck, not through magic, but through divine law. Before you laugh, roll your eyes, or whisper, "Here we go again." Listen carefully. I'm not talking about some get-rich-quick formula or lottery wishful thinking. I'm talking about commanding the very energy that creates money. And once you understand how this works, you'll never chase it again. It will chase you. Let's start with a little truth. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a word problem. They use their mouths like complaint machines and wonder why life keeps giving them receipts. You say things like, "I'm broke. I can't afford that. Money doesn't come easy." And you expect abundance to arrive. That's like standing in the rain shouting, "I hate getting wet," and expecting to stay dry. See, your words are not casual. They are spiritual commands. They are energy codes sent out into the universe. And guess what? The universe never says no. It only mirrors back what you say. So when you declare lack, it doesn't argue with you. It simply says, "Okay, more lack coming right up." You might be thinking, if that's true, why does it feel like I've been speaking positively but nothing's changing? That's the tricky part. You may be saying the right words, but deep inside, you're still tuned to the wrong frequency. You can't say, "I'm wealthy," while worrying about bills. That's like trying to whistle and cry at the same time. It doesn't work. But don't worry, we're going to fix that today. By the time you finish this video, you'll know the 3 exact words to summon $500 million. And most importantly, you'll know how to use them with real power. And if you're new here, just so you know, we keep our videos short but so potent that they leave a spark in your soul. The goal isn't to flood you with long lectures, it's to awaken your power in just a few minutes of truth. Now, let's acknowledge something real. You've been working hard, haven't you? You've been manifesting, praying, visualizing, lighting candles, reading affirmations, and still, it feels like abundance is on a coffee break. You might even wonder if something's wrong with you. Maybe you think you're missing the secret ingredient everyone else seems to have. I get it. You're tired of the waiting, the almosts. The next month will be better. You're tired of watching other people's miracles while yours are still in transit. Here's what's really happening. You're not out of alignment, you're out of clarity. You've been sending mixed signals to the universe. One minute you're saying, "I want abundance." The next you're scrolling through bills muttering, "I can't take this anymore." You're switching channels so fast the universe can't even tell which order to fulfill. Think about it this way. If you called a restaurant and said, "I'll have the pasta," and then immediately called back and said, "Actually, cancel that, I'll take the pizza," and then called again and said, "Wait, I'm not even hungry," would you expect dinner to show up? No. That's how most people communicate with the divine. They change their order every 5 minutes. So, before we talk about the 3 words, you need to understand times, why times they work. Everything begins with energy. You, me, your phone, the chair you're sitting on, it's all energy vibrating at different frequencies. Money, too, is energy, and it flows to those who vibrate at its frequency. That's why the same opportunities can show up for 2 people, and one becomes a millionaire while the other stays stuck. It's not luck, it's alignment. Let me make this practical. When you feel rich, grateful, confident, and joyful, you're tuned into the same vibration as wealth. When you feel anxious, desperate, or jealous, you're tuned into lack. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your frequency. But your words times create times your frequency. So yes, the words you say matter because they train your vibration. Now, I know you're ready for the reveal. The 3 exact words that summon $500 million are, "I am wealth." Simple? Yes, but don't mistake simplicity for weakness. Those 3 words are atomic, they carry creation power. When you say, I am, you are invoking the divine name of being. You're not describing yourself, you're defining yourself. You're speaking from authority, not request. The universe hears I am and moves everything in existence to make that statement true. But here's where most people mess up. They say I am wealth while secretly thinking, yeah, right. They declare abundance with their lips but deny it in their hearts. And the universe doesn't follow words, it follows belief. So you've got to times feel, times it, you've got to embody it. Let's do a small test right now. Say quietly to yourself, I am wealth. Notice what happens inside you. Do you feel resistance? Does your mind immediately whisper, no, you're not? That's the gap we need to close. That little voice of doubt is your old programming, your poverty consciousness trying to protect itself. It's scared because wealth requires a new version of you. But here's the trick. Don't fight that doubt. Don't argue with it. Just repeat the phrase until it gets quiet. Because every time you say, I am wealth, you're writing new code into your subconscious. You're erasing years of limitation, fear, and false humility. Now let's get practical. Here's your daily wealth ritual. When you wake up in the morning, before you even look at your phone, sit for 60 seconds and say, I am wealth. Don't just say it, feel it. Feel the sheets beneath you as if they're silk. Feel the air as if it's carrying the fragrance of success. Smile like someone who just found out the universe is their business partner. Then, throughout the day, use it as your internal soundtrack. Stuck in traffic, I am wealth. Doing laundry, I am wealth. Paying a bill, especially then, I am wealth. Because wealth is not about how much money is in your account, it's about your identity. When you embody wealth, money simply rearranges itself to match your truth. And please remember this isn't delusion. This is divine psychology. Your subconscious mind doesn't argue, it obeys. If you tell it you're wealthy, it starts filtering reality to confirm that. It begins to spot opportunities, people, and ideas that match your command. It's like training your brain to become a magnet for prosperity. I once told a friend to practice saying, I am wealth every morning for 21 days. She laughed at first. On day 3, she called me and said, I just got an unexpected bonus at work. On day 10, she found $300 in an old jacket. By day 21, she was offered a promotion. Was it coincidence? Maybe, but I call it alignment. Because when you vibrate at wealth, the world rearranges to match your frequency. Now I know what you might be thinking. But what about the bills? What about the debt? What about the real world? And I'll tell you, wealth doesn't ignore reality. It transforms it. You don't wait until your circumstances change to feel wealthy. You feel wealthy first, and then your circumstances change. That's how the law works. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you times are. Asterisk. So when you say, I am wealth, don't wait for proof before you believe it. Believe it first, and the proof will appear. All right, let's pause here. Take a deep breath. We've opened the door to something powerful. We're going to go deeper into how to activate those 3 words so they don't just sound good, they actually manifest tangible, visible wealth in your life. Because saying, I am wealth is the seed. But you still need to water it with belief, gratitude, and inspired action. And trust me, the moment you start doing this, something shifts in the atmosphere around you. You begin to walk differently, think differently. Opportunities start showing up. And before long, you realize wealth was never outside of you. It was waiting for you to declare who you already are. So, stay with me. We're just getting started. I'll show you exactly how to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with these 3 words, so that $500 million becomes not a fantasy, but a natural extension of your vibration. Take a sip of water, stretch a little, but don't leave yet. The next few minutes could rewrite the way you relate to money forever. Now, say it once more before we move on. Slowly, confidently, like you mean it. I am wealth. Let that sink in. You've spoken the words. You've felt their vibration. You've whispered them into your mornings and carried them into your nights. I am wealth. But now, it's time to go from saying the words to becoming them. Because true wealth doesn't come from what you do. It comes from who you are. And once you become wealth in consciousness, you magnetize $500 million, not by chasing it, but by aligning with it. Let's begin with this truth. When you say, I am wealth, you're not trying to convince the universe of anything. You're reminding the universe of what's already true. You're speaking the language of creation. I am is the divine declaration of being. It doesn't ask, it commands. And when you attach the word wealth to it, you are writing a divine order to the cosmic law of supply. That order cannot be lost, delayed, or denied unless you cancel it with doubt. So here's what we're doing in part 2. We're locking in your vibration. We're sealing your wealth frequency so that no doubt, no fear, and no circumstance can shake it. Because the moment you master this state, you won't just attract $500 million. You'll attract peace, power, and purpose that money could never buy. Now, let's talk about how to live those 3 words. Because saying I am wealth is the spark, but living I am wealth is the fire. First, let's talk about energy posture. When you wake up, before you check your phone or run to your to-do list, take 60 seconds to align your posture with your declaration. Sit up straight, shoulders relaxed, heart open, and breathe deeply. You can't affirm wealth from a posture of worry. Straighten your spine, lift your chin slightly, and breathe as though you already own the world. Because energy speaks louder than words. You can't say I am wealth while slouching like life owes you something. Speak it like life is your business partner. Next, let's address the big one. Doubt. Doubt is the tax you pay when you don't yet believe in your own power. And that's okay, we've all paid that tax. But the key is to stop renewing that subscription. Doubt comes whispering, what if this doesn't work? Or, you're not the type of person who becomes rich. And in that moment, you must become the authority over your thoughts. Here's a secret. You don't need to argue with doubt. Just outnumber it. Every time doubt says, what if? You reply with, I am wealth. Doubt can't survive repetition. You can't feel lack and abundance at the same time. Eventually, your dominant vibration wins. So, feed the vibration that serves you. Now, let's make this practical. I want you to think of your mind like a garden. Every thought is a seed. If you've been planting weeds, worry, lack, fear, your garden may not look too pretty right now. But that doesn't mean the soil is bad. It just means you've been planting the wrong seeds. So, from today, plant new ones. I am wealth. I am peace. I am abundance. Speak them daily, and the weeds will wither. You might say, but what if I don't feel it yet? That's fine. Do it anyway. Emotion follows repetition. Just like a song that gets stuck in your head, eventually, your subconscious starts singing along. That's when manifestation becomes effortless. Let me share a small story. A woman once told me she was always struggling financially, no matter how hard she worked. She started saying, I am wealth every day. But at first, it felt silly. She said it washing dishes, waiting in line, even while brushing her teeth. One morning, something shifted. She didn't just say it, she felt it. That same week, a business deal she thought was dead came back to life. Within 3 months, her income doubled, and she laughed because it all started with 3 little words and a little faith. Now, here's something people rarely talk about. Wealth isn't always about receiving. Sometimes it starts with releasing. You can't receive new abundance if you're still gripping onto old scarcity. That means letting go of resentment, envy, guilt, and even that old version of yourself who kept saying, I can't. Forgive your financial past. Forgive yourself for mistakes. Forgive that time you trusted the wrong person or made the wrong choice. Those experiences don't define you, they refine you. Say it right now. I release the old. I am wealth. When you release resistance, you make space for divine flow. Now let's go deeper into the science of this. Remember how I said everything is vibration? Well, your emotions are energy in motion. The higher your emotional state, the faster your manifestations arrive. Gratitude, joy, love. These are high-frequency states that magnetize wealth effortlessly. Fear, worry, guilt, those are low frequencies that repel it. So, if you want $500 million, don't focus on the number and focus on the feeling it represents. What does having that much money feel like? Freedom, peace, security, joy. Practice that feeling daily. You're not chasing money, you're summoning its vibration. Let's do a quick visualization exercise together. Close your eyes unless you're driving, then maybe don't. Picture yourself in your ideal environment. Maybe you're walking through a beautiful home, or sitting on a balcony overlooking the ocean, or signing a check to fund a cause you care about. Feel the satisfaction, the gratitude, the ease. Then say, I am wealth. Not I will be, not I hope to be, but I am. That's how you shift timelines from wishing to receiving, from hoping to being. Now let's talk about action. Because faith without inspired action is just daydreaming. Once you start affirming, I am wealth, ideas will begin to flow. You might get a nudge to start something new, make a call, learn a skill, or change a habit. Don't ignore those nudges, they are divine instructions responding to your declaration. Wealth flows through channels, and you are one of them. You must be open to act. If an idea excites you, don't overthink it. Follow it. Action anchors belief. Now, here's a crucial part that most people overlook: gratitude in advance. Gratitude is the proof of belief. When you thank the universe for something before it happens, you declare that it's already done. That's faith in motion. So start saying, thank you for my $500 million already flowing into my life. Thank you for the doors that are opening. Thank you for the divine timing that's aligning everything perfectly. You're not hoping it's done. Gratitude locks it in. And please don't fall into the trap of waiting for a sign. You are the sign. The fact that you're watching this, that these words found you, is proof you're already on the frequency of wealth. The door is open. All that's left is to walk through it. Now let's laugh for a moment, because humor raises your vibration too. Some people think being spiritual means being serious all the time. No, the most magnetic people are joyful. So yes, laugh, dance, play. You're not summoning $500 million by furrowing your brows and gritting your teeth. You're summoning it by being light, free, and confident. The universe loves a cheerful receiver. I know some of you are thinking, but I've said affirmations before, and nothing happened. That's okay. Maybe you said them once, and then checked your bank account 5 minutes later expecting fireworks. That's like planting a seed and digging it up the next day to see if it's grown. Be patient. Keep watering it. Your wealth is growing under the soil, even if you can't see it yet. Let me share one more secret with you. The number doesn't matter. Whether you say, I am wealth, and mean $5,000 or $500 million, the law of creation doesn't judge size. To the universe, $1 and $1 billion are the same vibration energy responding to faith. So, dream as big as your heart dares. Now, let's wrap this all up with a practice that will change your life if you truly commit. For the next 21 days, speak, I am wealth, every morning and every night. Write it 10 times a day. Say it when you're brushing your teeth, walking, or waiting in line. Let it become part of your inner language. Each time you say it, add gratitude. I am wealth, and I'm grateful for my overflowing opportunities. I am wealth, and I'm grateful for the peace I feel today. I am wealth, and I'm grateful for the abundance that surrounds me. Then take one inspired action each day. Just one. Send that email, start that project, clean your space, read that book, open that savings account. Each small step is a declaration to the universe, I'm ready. And when doubt whispers, this isn't working, smile and say, it's already done. Because everything in the invisible realm happens before it appears in the physical. You're not waiting for it to come. You're waiting to see what's already on its way. Now take a deep breath and say it with me one last time. I am wealth. Feel it settle in your chest like a warm glow. Feel it expanding in your mind, in your heart, in your energy field. That's the vibration of creation. And now, if this message has ignited something inside you, if you can feel that inner yes, don't keep it to yourself. Type I am wealth in the comments right now. Let's flood this space with abundance energy. When thousands of us declare it together, that vibration becomes unstoppable. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and join this growing community of manifestors. We keep these videos short but rich in power, so every time you watch, you get a spark of divine truth that transforms your mindset and your reality. Remember, you are not someone trying to attract wealth. You are wealth discovering itself. Walk today with that certainty. Smile at life. Speak like a creator. Think like abundance. Because you don't have to chase the $500 million. It's already on its way to you. Guided by your belief, summoned by your words, and drawn by your vibration. Say it one final time before you go slowly, intentionally, like you're sealing a divine contract. I am wealth. Now go live like it. The universe is listening, and it always delivers to those who know who they are.